Welcome to this week's semi-live. It is a cold, blistery morning here in Wisconsin. Deer season might be over for the most part for us, but the semi-lives are not going to stop. We're going to keep these rolling through the off season, through the summer, through spring turkey hunting. Keep you guys informed with everything we got going on throughout the year moving forward. So very excited to bring you guys today's episode. We got some fresh faces on the crew this year. A couple guys from central Wisconsin here. Got to know Ben Ferg. He is one of the new faces for the crew for 2022. He's from central Wisconsin, and his brother-in-law Bryce. Got to know both of them over the past couple years. Actually was fortunate enough to film Ben's wedding here 2 years ago, and since then have kind of just stayed in touch with him, and he's always had a big passion for filming his hunts, and he's actually been helping us out quite a bit the last couple years or so in the field when we've been in a pinch for cameramen, and relationships kind of grown since then, and it kind of came to the point where we decided that he would be a good fit for the crew for 2022. So meeting up with them guys today, going to introduce you to them. They're doing some land management stuff out on Bryce's farm here in Wisconsin. So I am probably about 10 minutes away from their farm. They got some brushing and a bunch of things like that kind of on the plate for this weekend. So stay tuned to the semi-live action, and we will show you kind of what those guys got in store for this year. What's going on today?
Clearing a little brush out. A couple acres, actually. Oh man, I can't wait. Should be a good time. Hopefully nothing breaks, or we don't get stuck.
Shot my first buck out of that stand. 10 years old, youth season. Standing right here.
Shoot him right out the door.
Yep. slid the old window open with Grandpa. So up here, there's a little loop. We did a little clearing in the past. Just pretty much cleared a loop around here. And then the last 2 years I had it planted in clover and chicory mix. And ended up being a really good scrape line around the edge of it. It's almost set up like a triangle, surrounded by a marsh on this side and then like two swamps. And each point it actually works kind of like a natural funnel coming into this loop, but we're just gonna go and clear the whole middle of it out, open it up. It'll be just under 2 acres. Should offer some pretty good food for the winter with the deer coming, working these swamp edges and shit. So hopefully we can get it cleared out and come in this spring and throw a bunch of lime down. I'll soil sample it, and not sure what I'll plant yet, but we'll figure that out in the spring. So, like I was saying earlier, you kind of see down here on this higher, we're almost on like a little bit of an island here between a couple swamps on each edge almost, and all it is like a trail around each edge of the triangle, and we're just gonna go through and rip that whole middle out. In the past, I had the whole pretty much perimeter trail planted in clover, and even with that clover continuously growing back, it was just getting burnt up. There's too many deer for what I had in here for food. Through this 120 acres, there's less than 4 acres of food, so I mean, it didn't really last us any longer than early season. So always get some good bucks in here on camera. Just hoping to have them stick around a little longer. Definitely hold more does in here in the future, and offer a little better hunting for sure.
Too many big ones, it snubs out. I don't know.
What's going on?
A little bit bigger job than I thought.
Not quite going as
Oh, as we thought. What's that?
Hit it with a grapple. I can rip most of the stuff right out.
in spring or what?
Right now, I know I could.
Right now, you could.
But I would at least snap it off at the bottom where we can just take it into spring and blade it out and push.
I mean, we can go grab it.
Probably won't hurt.
Not quite going how we planned it out in our heads. Some of these popples are just a little too big and too thick for that attachment. So we're thinking with those, we're gonna get the grapple bucket. The ground still, it doesn't seem to be super hard by those roots. So he's maybe just gonna we're gonna run back, get the grapple bucket, rip a bunch of those out with that, or try that at least. Before we do that, he's gonna come back in here. This stuff looks a little more open back in here with more berry brush and some smaller trees, popples and spruces. So he's gonna bring it back here, see if it works a little better back here. Otherwise, we're gonna run back to the farm and grab the grapple bucket and go that route. So here comes the boss. Up after getting the truck stuck and unstuck while leaving. Went home, grabbed the grapple bucket, a couple chainsaws, a sled, another helper. We're gonna go in there and see if we can get a little more work done with the grapple bucket. Might have to cut the trees down first and then just plan on coming back in the spring and ripping stumps out. But it's actually getting colder out. Kind of sucks now. Wind keeps picking up, but got some lunch in us and we're gonna keep back at her here. So grapple bucket was definitely the move. Making some progress finally. Tears those little trees right out of the ground, roots and everything. Pretty much just making a pile with the little ones right now and the roots. And then we're going ahead of Benny, cutting the big ones down, dicing them up. Eventually we'll make firewood out of those trees. These smaller ones we're just going to dispose of. So finally looked like something. We got a couple more hours here today. We're gonna head back, watch the Packer game at the house. The plan is, I don't know, probably next weekend we'll come back out. We'll have another full day's worth of work, and then this plot will be done. We've got a couple more plots that we plan on putting in this winter / spring yet. It's looking good. We'll have to come in here once the ground thaws and level this out before we soil sample and everything.
So we pulled out. We got about a quarter of it done. We ended up taking a grapple. Basically had to rip everything out, which somehow the ground was not frozen. Everything was pretty thawed out. Roots came, everything was good. We got everything in a big brush pile. It's gonna be one hell of a bonfire coming up here. Hopefully get up here in the next couple of weeks and finish up